Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What a big, bold, and exciting month it is. It is a month that is set to put us all towards a higher vision, a more loving vision for our life, to help us to live it that much more. And that is really thanks to the eclipses, 2 eclipses taking place. The first one happening at the very top of the month in fellow earth sign Virgo, meaning it's energy that's that much easier for you to work with and work with to your advantage. And then mid-month, we've got another eclipse happening in the part of the sky for you that has to do with talking things out, among other things. So let's take it one at a time. That first eclipse is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with higher education, long distance travel, immigration, citizenship matters, legal, even political matters as well. And these particular areas are going to be asking for your attention, are going to be asking you to plant new seeds, to begin again in some key way. So of course, on one hand, this is very obvious if you are already engaged in a process of higher learning, if you're going back to school, which a lot of people do right about now. This is obvious that this is going to be a time where you are going to be questioning if you're in the right program, if you're making the right choice, if this is something you really want to do. It may be asking for a whole lot of your energy and a lot of your focus and maybe even a lot of your resources as well, which can lead to some of those questions. Now, ultimately, the answers will be unique to you. And if you are somebody who wants to, who realizes that that's something you want to do, these are the types of questions and considerations that are going to be up for you to consider. Now, this can also play out in terms of long distance travel or visa or immigration, matters like that. This eclipse is speaking with Saturn and Neptune, which does suggest that things, circumstances can feel less than solid. It can feel like there's a whole lot of protocol, a whole lot of red tape, a whole lot of steps that you need to honor. And keep in mind, Mercury is also retro, right? So which means paperwork can also show up as well. Ultimately, this all can be a really good thing. Ultimately, this can be an endeavor. These can be activities that help you to understand and help you to solidify where it is that you truly desire to be and to feel that you are where you want to be. And also, the bottom line is, and I really believe, we are not anywhere that we are not supposed to be. And so to have that faith and to know that if a matter comes up, right? If all of a sudden, if you're engaged in some kind of citizenship, immigration matter, and all of a sudden there's another request for some documents, another request for some interview, just know that this is just part of the process of showing the universe that you are willing to be where you are and you're willing to do what it takes to show and to demonstrate that you know that this is your place. So these are the types of things you want to be aware of. It is possible that it comes up at this time. If there's some ongoing legal matter that has been taking place in your life, again, this can be a time when there's more protocol, there's more steps that have to be taken. And there may even be a point where you sort of say to yourself, okay, is this worth it? Is it worth continuing down this road or not? And of course, your answer will be certainly unique to you. But do keep in mind, as I look at this, it does say that your feelings around one of these areas of life may be going through a change. Now, also keep in mind, if you do get a chance to travel, if you want to do some long distance traveling, it actually could end up being very good for you, body and soul. And it could really help you to feel like you are starting fresh in some way, starting a brand new chapter, having a brand new beginning of some kind by taking that trip, particularly in the early part of the month. As we move towards the middle of the month, we are going to have another eclipse take place. This eclipse is speaking with Mars, and it is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. And so this does suggest to me it's a full moon eclipse. It represents closures. It represents things coming full circle. It represents fruition, in some cases, very dramatic fruition. And, again, I'm not seeing a lot of surprise energy around this particular full moon. What I am seeing is that there may be some frustration. There may be some buttons pressed. Really important to be very gentle and patient with these very people in your life, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. You want to be as patient as possible with them because it's going to be these very people who will either be more sensitive, or either their buttons can easily be pushed, or maybe it's the other way around. They say something and they may not even intend it, but it ends up pushing your buttons. So if you have to be with any of these people mid-month, which it looks possible that it may be that very quickly you have to be present. It's not like a surprising, shocking energy, but it may be that you have to be present, you have to be there. And what you're going to do with it, how you're going to deal with it, right? How you're going to interact. Well, ultimately, if you strive to be sensitive, if you strive to be gentle, then that can go a really long way in helping you to be that much more effective a presence as you interact with these particular people in your life. You want to also be mindful of this with your neighbors as well, because some feelings can be particularly heightened right about now. So it's always a good idea, right, to strive to see things from other perspectives, and at the same time to find that right balance for you. Now, the other thing I just want you to watch with this is that in the middle of the month, words in particular can be, I'm just seeing a small percentage of you out there. It's very possible that, you start speaking and you get very caught up in a certain energy, and it can just come across in a very passionate way and have a certain effect that you didn't intend, leading people to feel uncomfortable in ways that maybe are not about your desired outcome. So if you are trying to persuade anybody, and if you're trying to use your words to be persuasive, if you have any kind of important conversation that's set to be had, or you're going to be speaking in front of a group in particular, you do want to be mindful of the different ways what you're sharing can be interpreted, and also be mindful about what your intention is, like what kind of emotion and what kind of memory are you hoping to evoke from the people you will be communicating with. So as long as you do that, you'll be just fine. And then you can use this energy very much to your advantage to stir emotion in a way that you want, to stir the right emotions in the way that you want. What I love about this month for you is that in many ways it's helping you to understand that the world is so much bigger, and that you are able to interact with so much more of the world than you knew before. In many ways, you're learning more, and you're learning to be more. You're going to see things about you that you start to like, where you realize that you truly are becoming a better version of yourself than you knew before.